What's up everybody, and welcome back to DigiSpace YouTube channel. My name is Nelly, and if you're new to this channel, we talk about digital tools and how they can help you make the most out of every single day. So today I'm looking a little extra comfortable because I'm going to tell you a few different things that you will need to get started with digital planning. If you haven't watched my previous video yet, I did make a video on why you should get started with digital planning, so go ahead and check that video. I'll link it down below or add it as to one of the cards that you can click up here in the video. So this is basically step 2 to that video of how you can actually get started with digital planning today. So the first thing you're gonna need is some sort of tablet. My recommendation is definitely an iPad. I absolutely love my iPad. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I literally post on my iPad all the time. That is a tablet that I use because it is just so versatile and there are just so many features jam-packed into the iPad. Honestly, you can make an entire YouTube video about it, and there are so many YouTube videos about iPads, but Apple just recently had their annual event explaining all of the new products coming out, and there is actually a new iPad, or rather an upgraded version of the original iPad coming out, which does support the Apple Pencil first generation. So I definitely would recommend that one if you are just starting out with digital planning, or if you're just purchasing your very first iPad, because that iPad would definitely suffice. Me personally, I have the 2020 iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and the reason why I have the Pro is because I actually do use it for more than just digital planning. I actually create all of my digital products on my iPad. So that is the first thing that you will need, is some sort of tablet or an iPad, which is my recommendation. The next thing you're gonna need is some sort of writing utensil. So I have an Apple Pencil, the second generation, and I absolutely love my Apple Pencil so much. It magnetically charges onto my iPad, so I can just attach it to my iPad and it charges automatically, literally within 5 seconds. Honestly, my iPad Pencil like almost never dies. Only sometimes it does because I do use it every single day, but an Apple Pencil is my recommendation. But you can honestly use any kind of stylus that's out there. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a new upgraded version of the original iPad, and that one supports the Apple Pencil first generation. The differences between the first and second generation, I will post it right here. Basically, the first generation doesn't have that magnetic charging like the second gen Apple Pencil. It also doesn't have like the double tap on the side of the pencil to go to whatever feature that you have set it on under setting. In addition to the Apple Pencil, something that's helped me with my handwriting and just helps me to hold the Apple Pencil better is my Apple Pencil sleeve, and it's actually from Uppercase. I do have the sleeve and the pencil grip. I don't really have a preference on either or. I honestly love both of them, very much so the same. But honestly, it definitely does help with gripping the pencil because the pencil is in a kind of odd shape, so it doesn't really feel like a real pen or a pencil. But the sleeve and the grip definitely helps with that, and it definitely helps with improvement in my handwriting with the iPad. The third thing that you will need to get started with digital planning is an app. And not just any app, but a PDF annotating app. Now, I get this question all the time, especially with people who are just starting out with digital planners. They always ask me like, what app is that? What app is that? And it is GoodNotes 5. I currently use the GoodNotes 5 app for my PDF annotating app. I honestly have had this app since I was in high school, and it's come such a long way since then. It's my favorite app to use for digital planning, just because I can organize all of my planners and my journals into different folders, as well as keep it very nice and cohesive. I have a 2020 folder for my 2020 planners, 2021 planners, so on and so forth. I also have like an archive folder for things that I have just want in there, but I don't really use all the time. It does take up space, so you have to make sure that you do have a sufficient amount of space on your iPad as well, because digital planners can become very large files on your iPad, and just be very mindful of that as well. So that is the app that I would recommend, is GoodNotes 5. There are also a ton of other PDF annotating apps that people use, and I've never played around with the other apps, but I know they are out there. There are also apps for any Android tablet users. So I am talking mostly about Apple products here because I am pretty biased on Apple products, but there are definitely a PDF annotating apps for Android users as well. And there are a few Android users that do use the digital products and the digital planners that I have created. So it's all your preference, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of more PDF annotating apps coming out in the future, just because digital planning and digital journaling has just boomed in the recent years, especially during COVID. The past few years, digital planning has definitely been a lot more popular. So I'm sure there are developers out there that are trying to create their own version of PDF annotating apps, or apps just for digital planners in general. And the last thing that you will need to start digital planning is pretty obvious, but you need a digital planner. So I actually have a free digital planner that you can have access to today. The link is all down in the description. Just click that link and it'll take you into a sign up page. It'll send you a welcome email, and then from there, you can go ahead and download the planner onto your iPad or whatever device you're going to be using for digital planning. So on to the last point. Yes, you will need a digital planner to get started with digital planning. There are a ton of digital planners out there and different digital journals. A lot of them just meet so many different needs, just like planners in general, paper planners in general. There are so many different versions of these things out there, and honestly, you just have to start. I've had so many different planners on my iPad just to test them out. When I started digital planning, I had done so much research about the digital planners that are out there, how to get started with them. So at this point, I kind of know what I like and what I don't like in them, which is why I created DigiSpace, because now I'm creating my own line of digital planners, and it fits every single one of my needs, and I hope it does you as well. But it is very versatile. Basically anything that you can find in paper form, it's probably out there in digital form as well. And I just absolutely love this. It's definitely a fun hobby as well. But like I mentioned, find whatever it is that you need. And the best thing about digital planning and digital planners is that there's so much customization with it as well. So go ahead, go out there, do your research. I will leave my Etsy shop down in the description so that you can check it out. And if you favorite my shop, you will also get notified whenever I do add new digital products onto my Etsy shop. So that is all for today's video. I hope you learned a thing or two about what you need to get started with digital planning. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you did watch this far, thank you. I appreciate you. And also thank you so much for 200 subscribers. Literally the last video I made, I was celebrating 100. Now I'm at 200. Like, what the heck is happening? I have no idea. But thank you for being part of this community. I hope that you leave every single time feeling a little bit more inspired, a little bit more motivated, which is the mission of DigiSpace. I'm sorry that I'm looking a little crazy today, but you know what? This is me in the flesh. I am recovering from my son's first birthday this past weekend, and I wanted to get this filmed and edited for you. It's not so much of how it looked, but of what the content is in it. So I hope you got some stuff out of it. Thank you again so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.